In the beginning, everything was perfect. The world was a paradise, a beautiful garden where Adam and Eve lived in harmony with God and creation. They had everything they could ever want: freedom, joy, and a direct relationship with their Creator. But then something changed. Enter the serpent, a crafty creature who introduced doubt into this idyllic existence. Imagine being in a place where you have everything, yet one small thing is off limits. The serpent approached Eve, planting seeds of curiosity and confusion. Did God really say you must not eat from any tree in the garden? He asked, twisting God's words. This is where the story takes a turn. Eve, intrigued and perhaps a bit defensive, responded, "We can eat from the trees, but not from the one in the middle, or we'll die." The serpent, with a sly grin, countered, "You won't die. In fact, your eyes will be opened, and you'll be like God, knowing good and evil." This moment is pivotal. It's a classic example of temptation, an invitation to step outside the boundaries set for us. Eve looked at the fruit, and it was appealing. It promised wisdom, something we all crave. She took a bite, and then she handed it to Adam. Just like that, they both chose to disregard the one commandment given to them. Now, let's pause for a moment. How often do we face similar choices in our lives? We encounter temptations that seem harmless at first. Maybe it's a little white lie, a shortcut at work, or indulging in something we know isn't good for us. The allure of immediate gratification can cloud our judgment, just like it did for Eve. After they ate, their eyes were indeed opened, but not in the way they expected. They felt shame for the first time, realizing they were naked. They tried to hide from God, who had walked with them in the cool of the day. This is another layer of the story: how our choices can lead to feelings of isolation and guilt. When we stray from what we know is right, we often find ourselves hiding, feeling unworthy of connection. The consequences of their actions were profound. They were banished from the garden, a symbol of lost innocence and the beginning of a life filled with struggle. But here's the lesson: every choice we make has consequences, and sometimes those consequences ripple out far beyond our immediate understanding. Think of it like this: imagine planting a seed. You water it, nurture it, and eventually it grows into a tree. But if that seed is a bad choice, it can produce fruit that brings harm, not just to you, but to those around you. So, what can we take away from this ancient story? It's a reminder that we all face temptations and choices every day. It teaches us to be mindful of our decisions and to recognize the deeper implications they may have. The fall of man isn't just a tale from the past. It's a reflection of our ongoing struggle with temptation, the desire for control, and the consequences of our actions. In our modern lives, we can strive to make choices that align with our values and beliefs, seeking wisdom and guidance rather than succumbing to fleeting desires. The story of Adam and Eve encourages us to reflect on our own lives, to understand that while we may stumble, there's always a path back to grace and redemption.